Ryan Jarrell here for MMA News, and I'm excited to have my next guest back on the program. It's Isaac Dulgarian. He's coming off a very peculiar split decision loss to Christian Rodriguez at UFC Vegas 88. And Isaac, this was very, very recently, just last weekend. I was telling you before we started the interview, I was very surprised at the outcome. You've had some time to digest it now. What is your thoughts looking back at it?
Man, my thoughts, man. I think I did well. It was my first fight that went the distance. Um, I won the first two rounds. Straight up, clear as day. Third round, kind of got a little tired with my arms from squeezing onto them for so long, but so obviously lost the third round. But the thing is, at this level, it's hard to win every single round, every single fight. So my heart knows I won this fight. I think the whole world, if you watch the fight, I won the fight. And I don't know where the judges got the second round to him. I had 4 minutes and 11 seconds of control time. When we were in the stand up, I matched him strike for strike, basically. He only landed a few more strikes. One was a knee. It was a good knee. It didn't hurt me at all, but it was a good knee right next to the mic in the second. And I guess that's why the commission gave him the round. But if you go watch it, it didn't affect me at all. It didn't cut me, didn't bruise me, didn't get an adverse reaction from me. I literally kept doing the same thing I was doing. So um, damage is subjective in that matter. But other than that, I dominated the first round 10-8 across the scorecards. In the second round, I mean, even if you get head kicked in the second round and knocked on your ass, even if you have 4 minutes and 11 seconds of control time, you win the round regardless. So I think that's the biggest thing there is I just don't see how they give him the second round. There's no possible way in the world that you can give him that round. He even knew it. His coaches knew it. They're telling him, you have to finish. You have to, you're down 2 rounds.
Mm. I mean, I thought it was crystal clear that you won rounds 1 and 2. And you could make an argument, I guess, that maybe he got a 10-8 in the third. I mean, some people have said that. Some people think that's what he got. Did you think that, okay, before the judges actually rendered their decision, there's a chance that this could be worst case scenario or draw? Or were you guys feeling, okay, yeah, we got this 29-28?
No, I thought I won the fight 29-28. You know, I, as I said earlier, optically, I could see how you could score it a 10-8 in the third, but it wasn't a 10-8. He wasn't hitting me hard. He was hitting the hard parts of my skull, not my face, not the soft stuff. And he wasn't hurting me or close to a finish at any point in the third round. Every time he flattened me out, my coach told me not to get stuck. I moved, got to a different position, and I didn't hear the ref say anything the whole time. So um, I don't see how you can score it a 10-8. I don't get it, but it is what it is. Some people just don't know how tough us fighters are. And my first round was a 10-8, multiple sub attempts, had him cut, bleeding all over himself. So that's a true 10-8 right there.
Were you surprised at how tough he was to finish? I mean, we know how well-rounded of a fighter he was, but like you said, you put it on him early. Were you surprised that, how durable he actually was?
No, I don't take anybody lightly. I know that these guys at this level, they're battle tested and they have a lot of experience in deep waters. So, it wasn't anything new to me. It was just my first time going past the first round. And a lot of people get through that on the regional scene, their first few fights. Mine just happened to be on national television in front of the whole world. So that's how it goes sometimes. But nobody on the regional scene could really push me. So that's why I'm here in the UFC.
How would you assess your cardio in this fight? I know you expended a lot of energy, especially early. You're catching some flack, I guess, from some of the detractors that said, maybe you were fading as the fight went along. How would you, I guess, overall just assess your cardio here in this fight?
I think my cardio vascular was very good. I wasn't tired in that matter. It's more so my forearms and grip tired. So it was really just a pace thing. Not squeezing as much, but I couldn't get a grip on this guy like normal. So that was the biggest thing. I had to exert a lot of energy to hold him down. And it was really just like my forearms, just that squeeze, the grip. So I couldn't really use my hands. That was the biggest thing in that third round. Yeah, cardio was good. We did all the work beforehand to be able to go 15 minutes. So I wasn't like dying after the fight or anything. It was just my forearms were really tired.
Makes sense. You hear a lot of fighters talk about open scoring. Obviously, there's a lot of judging problems in the sport, regardless of the promotion. Do you feel like if there was open scoring, that you would have looked at that third round a little bit differently, like your game plan would have been different than it actually was?
Yeah, I mean, in some regards, for sure. I think open scoring is good sometimes and not great the other because, like, not my fight, but for example, if you're winning 2 rounds and now the guy knows he has to knock you out, he's going to do everything he can to knock you out. But also, if they don't show the scorecards, then you guys don't know. I really don't think it's a matter of scoring. I think it's a matter of getting these judges certified in some type of fashion. I don't even know if some of these guys have ever been in a fist fight um, at any type of level. So that's the biggest thing is these guys don't know what they're doing. They're not consistent. This past weekend, all the grapplers ended up winning. The guys that outstruck the grapplers lost all the decisions. So it's not consistent. Every week it's different, and that's the biggest problem with MMA. It's just the judges getting in the way of things. I would much rather the fight just continue to go until somebody quits than have these guys that have never been in a fight jump in and tell you lost a fight. It's pretty wild, and it's sad. It happens every weekend. Happened to me, and that's just how it goes. There's been so many fighters before me, and so many that'll come after that are going to lose stupid decisions that they should have won the fight.
I've always said that I feel like retired fighters should be the judges, their cage side. And I feel like there needs to be some rules in place where, I mean, you wouldn't be able to sit there and judge someone that you have a relationship with, right? Because you don't want
Yeah,
any bias coming into play. What's your thoughts on that? Is that something that you feel like ultimately down the line we will see more fighters as judges?
I would hope so, man. Because the thing is even if these judges do some training, on the side, uh, they don't know what it's like to be in a fight. They don't understand. They Half of them are judging it by the criteria by damage, but they don't even know what damage is. I mean, damage is, like I said earlier, is subjective. If you hit me with a hard right hand, sure it was hard, but did it affect me? Did it hurt me? Did it cut me? Did it make me wobble? If you're just scoring it because he landed the right hand, that's ridiculous. We all can punch each other. It's damage is hurting them, cutting them. So that's the biggest thing for me, man. They just don't. They're not consistent.
No, makes sense. Is this a fight that you want to run back? Do you hope to rematch Christian soon?
Oh, I'd run it back any day. I don't think he'll take a rematch though. At the end of the fight, him and his team were staring at the floor. I was still smiling, talking to Michael Bisping, regardless of what the third round looked like. I was still having fun. That's the difference. I always have fun when I'm fighting, and win or loss, whether I'm getting beat up or not, it's still fun for me. That's why I do this sport.
Yeah, and I understand that you felt like maybe he could have been doing something illegal. Can you kind of elaborate a little bit more on that and your thoughts and how you came to that realization, maybe?
So I kind of this is my thought in the fight. I took him down early in the first, and I couldn't really get a good grip on him, but I started putting strikes down, and then about 3 minutes into the first round, I'd say, I really started losing like traction on his skin. Like I was just sliding up. I was on his back. I'd slide all the way up, and something that I've done great in my entire career in athletics is not falling over the top, not getting my lock above the belly button per se, and up to the nipples, right? And this whole fight, my lock is up by his neck. It just kept sliding up, and it was just way, way, way harder to hold on to this guy and than normal. And so I know that some people sweat a lot and blah 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 blah. But you got to realize I've been competing in grappling for about 19 years now. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of wrestling matches. So um, I know when people are sweating, I know the difference between sweat and lubrication. And I truly feel like he had something on his skin. Now, regardless, that doesn't change the outcome of the fight, which I believe I won. But, it made it a lot harder for me to get the finish because I think I would have finished him early if he wasn't that slippery. I mean, that was my biggest thing. I know I went back to my corner and was thinking that this guy's got something on his skin. I believe I told my coach that after the first round, and I didn't really think to tell the ref because we're in the middle of a fight. I don't know. It just didn't hit my mind to do that. I figured they wouldn't do anything about it anyways, and they don't test you or do anything about that. So there's plenty of ways to do this grease and stuff, man. It's been around for years, years and years. Plenty of people have done it, especially if you're fighting a grappler. Christian, he knew he was going to get out grappled in this fight, and he had to strike. We already knew his game plan. He was going to try to land the knee on my shot entry, and so I think that was just like their little backup to get him out of the grappling situations.
Mm-hmm.
And if he wasn't, all power to him. But I truly feel like he had something on him. I don't know if it was sweet sweat, lotion, baby oil, sitting in a tub of baby oil. There's hundreds of ways to do this, man.
Hypothetically speaking, even let's say he did grease or use some sort of lubricant here prior to the fight. Is there any way to catch him at this point now? Like, or is it pretty much just done and it is what it is?
No, there's nothing you can do about it, and that's why they were talking shit after the fight. You know, there should be something in place where they swab your skin or something after. But you can't tell. Like, we walk in the cage and they touch your skin, but they don't. It's not really like a test, man. Like, okay, if they feel it, but that's the thing is when you grease it, you could like sit in baby oil and it won't come out of your skin, so you start sweating profusely. So like that's when I started feeling it. The 3 minutes into the first round is when I couldn't get a grip on him, and then as the fight progressed, he just kept getting more slippery, more slippery. And I mean, you could see it in the fight. You go watch the fight. I'm still completely dry, and this guy's shining, glistening, and sweaty as hell. So if you've ever been to the Apex, man, it's cold. It's cold in there. It's just kind of weird to me. That's all. It was just kind of weird. And I mean, regardless, I feel like I won the fight. So if he wasn't, it is what it is. But I think he was, and um, it really didn't play into this fight much. I won the fight regardless.
So your mental is still in a really good place. Like, even though I guess technically your record, you have your first loss, you don't feel like it's a legit loss.
No, my heart knows I won the fight, man. My heart and the whole world, everybody that watched the fight that's not a fanboy of his knows I won this fight, and that's all that really matters. Um, it sucks for sure because now this guy gets to walk around, act like he won, act like he beat me, but it doesn't. The result of this fight doesn't define my skill. It doesn't define my future or anything like that. It's just a bump in the road. We'll get better. And the big thing is I learned a lot from the fight. Like I said earlier, it was my first time going the distance, and it's something that I needed, you know. And so we'll get back in the gym. We'll correct some things, change some things up, and get me more comfortable. And then we'll get back in there, man. That's all there is to it.
When do you hope to get back in there? I know you have a baby girl any day now that's due. When would the ideal time frame be for you to step back into the octagon?
I'm thinking late July, August. I think it'll be perfect. It'll give me enough time to kind of settle in with the new baby, new life of being a dad, and get back out to Colorado. I'm here in Kansas City for probably about 4 more weeks now, just until baby comes and until we're comfortable and ready to go back. So I'm thinking July or August will be perfect for me, and then hopefully get one more at the end of the year.
Nice. And it looks absolutely beautiful there right now. What's the temperature?
Oh, I don't even know. It's nice though. It's real nice. We're waiting for the eclipse and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, where I'm at, actually up here in Maine, I guess is the best place in the world to see the eclipse. There are people that have been like booking reservations up for like years ahead of time to get here to go up north to actually see this thing. Are you gonna try and watch it outside? Have you bought the glasses?
We got welding masks out here. We
Okay,
ain't going to the store to buy no glasses.
okay,
We're
fair,
gonna throw
fair.
on the welding mask and be good to go. But no, that's awesome, man. I've actually been to Maine once in my life. It was beautiful. I can't wait to go back. Actually, I think I was out there in the fall. It was crazy.
Oh yeah, that's the best time here. Where do you remember what part of Maine you came to?
No, because I was on a business trip. I was like, what's that state that's right next to you guys? The border state?
New Hampshire.
Yeah, New Hampshire. I was like on the border between Maine and New Hampshire, somewhere around there.
Okay. Yeah, it's beautiful, man. If you come back, I definitely suggest the fall time. Summer too. There's a lot of lakes and places to visit if you want to be out on the water. A lot of great places to see. If you do come, let me know, man. Maybe we can get together. I can show you around.
Definitely, of course. I would love it.
So tell me, obviously, again, as I mentioned, the baby girls due any day now. I know just the other day we had to reschedule our interview because you thought that maybe she was coming. What has that whole process like? What are your nerves like right now?
They're good. I'm nervous because I have to help a lot because we're not having like a traditional birth at a hospital. We're going to like a birth center, so kind of nervous because I have to help a lot, and it's kind of weird because I would be nervous if I knew what I was doing, but I've never done this before. I've never been a dad, so I'm like, I've never helped deliver a baby, so it's kind of that part is nerve wracking. I know after the fact, I'll be good because I had plenty of siblings growing up and had to help take care of them and stuff. Uh, but yeah, it's just this birth part is what's getting at me.
Do you have a name picked out yet?
No, we have a list. I haven't been able to really pick one. Me and my girl haven't been able to pick one because I feel like I have to see her first. So we got a list, and I think that we'll be able to pick from that list pretty quickly once we see her.
Fantastic, man. Well, congratulations ahead of time for when it does happen. My wife and I are trying to have our first. So right now, it's funny because when you're younger, you feel, you're scared to maybe have a baby if you're not ready. And then you get a little older and you're ready to have a baby and you realize it's not as easy as you think to actually get pregnant. So that's the
Right.
stage we're in right now.
Yeah, no, it's hard, man. Like we had a miscarriage about a year and a half ago, and that was really hard. And then right after that, once she recovered, she ended up pregnant again. So it was perfect. I've said it before. I've always wanted to be a dad. It really just came down to finding the right lady, and I've been with plenty that I thought might be right, but it just turned out that I really couldn't. I really couldn't trust what they were doing. I guess you could say I couldn't
Yeah.
trust them fully with my kid.
Yeah.
So, in their lifestyle and mental and everything like that. So I found me a good one, and I'm happy about it.
Good for you, man. Yeah, it really is. It's all about finding the right person to spend your life with. Well, again, early congrats on all the personal success. We talked about the fight with Christian and what's next for you. Before we get out of here today, Isaac, I do got to get your thoughts on UFC 300. It's right around the corner. It's this weekend. I know your boy Cody Brundage is taking on Bo Nickel. I feel like Cody is being disrespected. The odds for this fight are absolutely bananas. And with 4 ounce gloves and the power that Cody has, I think he can go in there and shock the world. Give me your honest analysis here when you look at that fight.
So, yeah, Bo's a high level grappler. I think we all know this. I actually grew up wrestling Bo a lot. We were the same size at one time, so that's pretty crazy to see this matchup going on between him and my teammate. But on Cody's side, he's got the power, and he usually comes out firing on all cylinders. And he's a wrestler too. He might not be as high level as Bo, but he at least has some takedown defense and offense as well. I feel like the guys Bo's fought kind of just been he's kind of got feeding the silver spoon a little bit. Not great strikers or grapplers. Good matchups for him. So I think Cody kind of mixes up the game because he is a decent striker and he's got power to turn you off and he knows a little bit of wrestling. So I'm excited. I'm really excited for this fight because Bo's a rising prospect and Cody needs this win. And I think if he gets the win on this card, it's going to do wonders for his career and for his family and everything like that. So I'm rooting for him out here in Kansas City, and I'll be watching.
Yeah, I didn't realize, I guess, that you used to wrestle with Bo. How long ago was that? And would you say that your relationship with Bo is on par with your relationship with Cody?
Uh, I mean, I haven't heard from or spoke to Bo in a long, long time, but we used to wrestle like at all the national tournaments growing up. Everywhere he'd always be in my bracket, and we'd always wrestle. My grandpa would talk to his dad a lot at the tournaments and stuff. So um, he got my number about every time. So he's pretty damn good.
Okay. So you'd say you're probably closer with Cody now, just based on proximity and your training at Factory X.
Yeah, yeah,
All right.
yep.
Well, that's going to be a great middleweight bout. Let me get your picks as far as the title fights go. The light heavyweight title's on the line. Jamal Hill looking to reclaim his belt against Alex Pereira. Do you think he does it, or do you think Pereira retains?
Fuck. I haven't really watched a lot of Jamal Hill's fights. I've seen a few of them, but Pereira's scary. He's a scary dude to me, I think. So I'm gonna go with Pereira, but I know Jamal Hill's got some power and he's a pretty sneaky guy. So um, I think it's gonna be a good one. Off the top of my head, I'm gonna go Pereira, but I don't have a lot of insight on this. I just know Pereira's to me, he's one of the most scary guys on the roster.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I'm with you there. As far as the BMF title goes, Max Holloway, Justin Gaethje, do you have a prediction for that fight?
Oh, I'm gonna go with Gatey on this one. But I want Max to win. I want
All
Max to win. I love Max Holloway to death. I think he's an amazing fighter and um, one of the most technical, like high volume strikers ever. So I think it's going to be a matter of whether Max can put the pace on him and really out volume Gaethje, or if Gaethje can land some power strikes and hurt him. I think that's going to be the battle there, and I'm really excited for that one as well. I'm going to pick Gaethje, like I said, but I want Holloway to win personally.
Okay, I understand that. Is there one other fight that kind of stands out on this card that you're really looking forward to watching?
Shoot. Off the top of my head, I don't even know, man. Who's on it? Who's all on it? I haven't been paying attention.
Well, the fight that's kicking off the whole card is um, Davison Figueiredo and Cody Garbrandt. So that's a
That's a
pretty interesting matchup right there.
that's a fun one. Oh, there's so many on there. I can't remember all. No, that one is exciting because uh, this is at 35, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So Big Figgy's coming up. Uh, and Garbrandt's tough. They're both battle tested. Um, I want to see how Figgy does at 35. That's my biggest thing. I want to see how he performs at 35 because he was a tank at 25. Like
Mm.
that dude was tough, big too. Like I'm pretty sure he walks around bigger than I do.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Like
He just beat Rob Font in his debut at 135 too, and he looked good doing it.
yeah, he did. He did. Font's tough too. I mean, he's a good boxer, but he doesn't have a lot of ground game. Doesn't seem from what I've watched of him. So, I mean, the way he got manhandled by Sandhagen on the
Mm.
ground was pretty crazy to me. I was like, dude, you can't do the same thing the whole time off your back. But
Yeah.
I think Garbrandt is good. He's good everywhere. He makes some mistakes IQ wise, but he was at one point one of the best in the world. So he is no doubt he has the talent and the skill for it. I think it's more mental for him.
Yeah. Rob Font's teammate Calvin Kattar is going to be facing Aljamain Sterling. He's moving up to 145. How do you see that fight going?
I got Aljo on that. I think Aljo's just better all around, all around. Cater's a good boxer, good striker, but Aljo is a good striker as well, and his back take game is next level. He's very very good on the back. That's the last place you want him on you. So I got Aljo on that one for sure.
Yeah, definitely. There's not one bad fight on this whole card. Do you know where you're watching the event yet? Obviously, with the baby around the corner, it's probably you're living day to day right now. But I'm sure you're going to be
Yeah.
watching it. Do you have any thoughts as to where you'll actually be?
Most likely. I mean, if baby comes this week, I'll be watching it with one of my friends. He just got back from the army, and I haven't seen him in about 4 years. So I'm going over to his house and be with his family. His mom, she was like my mom when I was growing up. My mom away from home, kept me out of trouble a lot. So I'm gonna go over, say what's up to them, get some steaks in, and just have a good time.
Good for you, my man. Well, Isaac, I appreciate the time today. Great catching up with you again. We all look forward to seeing you back in the octagon whenever that is. And this is a big week for you, man. So enjoy it. Take a lot of pictures, and remember this moment in your life because it's going to be one of the very most special moments that you'll ever experience, I'm sure. Before we do sign off, I want to give you the floor. If there's anything you want to plug, anyone you want to thank, the floor is yours.
Yeah, just follow me on Instagram. It's Isaac_Dulgarian. That's the platform I use most. And then just big shout out to all my fans, Kansas City, Armenia, and all my fans around the U.S. Obviously this fight didn't go our way, but we'll be back at it. My heart knows who won. I'm in nothing but good spirits, and we'll continue to rise. My whole career has been built off of getting something stolen from me and me getting it back. Since I was a little kid, somebody's always taken something out of my mouth, and I always get it back. So no problem there. Like I said before, my heart knows who won, and we'll be back.